Putting aside endgame struggles, it really just speaks to the difficulty of these origin runs writ large and not specifically towards the curved sword found on the warrior class. Yeah, I'd still say this is going to be S tier. It felt a step above the hero in most situations. In a lot of situations, the warrior even felt not even like a challenge run. It was very competitive, particularly high damage output, thanks to the paired variant it carried, two swords, which offered many tools that a lot of other weapons held by the Origins don't have. It could not only play like a lightweight, like most of the Origins, but also play like a middleweight. It had options to do significant stance damage to get ripostes. It had a kind of disgustingly strong running and jumping attack, although both were highly committal and could put you in bad situations. Not to mention, a lot of their strength came from getting just an absurd amount of multi-hits, which is fully dependent on your target's size. So, not always great, sometimes a sort of red herring, a misleading tool in your kit that could get you fucked up. Luckily, you could also just choose not to use it because this class also comes with a shield. It is definitely the most well-equipped kit we've seen thus far, with the most options to combat most situations. But there is a downside, and that's that most of the options are not particularly strong innately. There is no one move that you can really fall back on as truly reliable. There's always a downside. A lot of them is just pretty lengthy startup, all things considered. The recovery is very fast, so technically speaking, you can get yourself out of hairy situations, especially with the feint. The feint's a lot of fun. The feint's not really super useful, but it can trick AI a little bit. We can have a little fun there, but generally speaking, it's just style points, and just gives you another option in combat to vary things. I was surprised at how cromulent the motion value is on it. I thought it would be a really weak attack, but it actually is, if not equal to an R1, then maybe even greater. Speaking of R1s, R2s didn't see that many use, neither did one-handed heavies, or jump heavies, even though they also have surprisingly quick recovery compared to most jump attacks, making it a bit more valuable than those. But again, if you're going to go for a jump attack, you're going to go for the absurd L1 jump. L2 had its niche uses, namely in just blitzing down elite enemies like those white wolves that you'll run into that have just an absurd amount of HP. That attack can pin them down very well. It pins down enemies that don't have poise very well because of that extra hit. So that, paired with it being a weapon art or a skill and having just generally higher motion value, makes it pretty helpful in these circumstances, like trying to power through the liturgical black knife. But especially when you're not seeing an immediate out in any kind of situation, while the warrior can largely coast through most interactions, when you do run into a brick wall, it's really hard to see how you're going to get around it, since all of those weaknesses I brought up, the sort of odd frame data being front loaded, as well as just having generally light hit stun and stance damage, that proved an issue against both Letta and Melania a bit, since she could interrupt the multi-hit attacks of the L1, severely diminishing their power. And Letta, with her light greatsword, has enough poise health to not bulk at just one of those myriad hits, meaning she can just go right through and hit you, which is very bad because by that point in the game, you're really feeling the fact that you don't have any better armor or talismans to alleviate damage intake. Though, going back to Melania, I was surprised at how comfortable she was, despite the fact that I could not fight her normally. A flaw that was very obnoxious with Letta and led me to have to respec just to get more endurance back from after getting rid of light rolling after Melania. I needed the light rolling for positioning to get out of there, since I really do need to get very close to get this weapon to strike at all. Its range is not very good. It's good at roll catching if your opponent tries to escape to the left or right, just because of how the curved swords swing at your flanks down that way. But it's also not great because of the weird timings of the L1 combo. There's a lot of gaps in it that enemies can escape out of, or can prevent you from catching them back in it if one hit happens to miss or you're trying to get that first hit in it. It's very committal. It was a lot more difficult to use this paired curved sword than the paired curved sword in DS3. So I guess it was nerfed a little bit, which should have been obvious because, I mean, it's not even the same animations, really. But with Millennia, since I did not have the range and just could not joust her at all, even the dagger had an easier time jousting her, I basically had to rethink my entire strategy around here. And while I'd love to kind of lay that out and go into detail on how I managed to get around that, I don't know, I just kind of winged it and it worked. So, like, sure. Same thing could be said about Radahn too, even though I got pretty stuck on him for like another hour or so, which is not fun. I blame the game again, or I blame the terrain mostly for a lot of those deaths, and just having strange interactions where I suddenly find myself being whipped around into a light pillar that I would not normally get stuck in. Though, of course, in Radahn's case, it was also because all the options in combat make it difficult to tell when things do not just innately work, which they're not designed to against Radahn 2. He's meant to be a culminating threat, I guess. Something at the zenith of the game's power level, something that takes more to take down than any other foe. It is only natural that it is not immediately apparent what the best answers in each of his windows are. So they are generally designed to encourage the player to use heavy attacks instead of R1 spam with the exact timings of it all. And since those odd windows of opportunity exist in the manner that they do, and the paired curved sword has so many different options, it is generally kind of difficult to figure out what's best to use in a given scenario, especially since, kind of like the dagger, you can even get away with some R2, R1 combos in there. You can't combo the L1 though. They got rid of that from Dark Souls 3, which is fucking stupid. It was also kind of a key mechanic in Bloodborne, being able to swap around your different attacks, which is fucking baffling. I don't know who made that decision. Maybe it's just in the finer details of how the game is programmed, how paired weapons are considered, because in Dark Souls 3 the paired weapons are sort of their own class in a weird way, and I guess in how they're treated, while this is just like attacking with your left hand weapon while you have another of the same class in your right hand just changes the L1 from an R1 to the paired move. But I guess because the game considers it a different weapon, it can't combo with your right hand weapon because weapons are designed to only combo with themselves. Yeah, that's my best guess, but either way, it's fucking stupid. Now I gotta go back to Dark Souls 2 to see if that's how power stancing was handled in that game too. Maybe that's just a quirk of the power stancing approach to paired variants. I don't know. Whatever the case is, I didn't use paired variants much at all for Radahn 2 because parrying is very helpful. I got a bit better at being aware of parrying his little Moog's stab, and especially being aware that the Moog stab often combos into itself. He very much favors that. I know I said in a previous video that you can get away with back-to-back parry with the normal downward slash or one hand slash that leads into his longer, sometimes delayed combo, sometimes extended combo. That one's honestly kind of just better to parry once, get an attack in, and then back out. It's just a lot safer than trying to call out the parry at the last second. In this challenge, you can take so much damage and die so quickly. One bad interaction can kill you when you have nothing augmenting defense in this game, which is not very fun, I have to admit. It is nice when you have higher damage output to make fights shorter, to lessen the amount of interactions necessary to reach the end of the fight. Therefore, there are less interactions that could possibly go bad. Like when you compare it against Loretta 2, who got utterly decimated by the paired curved swords, or even Mesmer when I stopped trying to parry him because for some reason he takes 3 parries. I mean, Romina is not the easiest boss to parry either, just because the weird nature of her model and the way that the attacks line up with the character and connect with the character's model, but she only takes 1. Horseback bosses also only take 1. Mesmer, 3. It's ridiculous. He is not easy to parry. Maybe with more practice, but it is not intuitive, I don't feel. Even if he does have a lot of delayed attacks akin to like Apostle, but then again, Apostle isn't easy to parry either. I don't know what they were thinking there. Anyway, parrying helped with Radahn 2, helped get some burst damage off, but the fact that I wasn't using paired attacks meant that really the primary reason I was blissing down bosses like Loretta 2 as quickly as I was, as quickly as I was blitzing down Melania, honestly. She got kind of fucking melted by this thing. I was consistently surprised at how much damage I was doing, though it helped that the offhand Frost scimitar that I've had for most of the playthrough, while it was able to proc Frost pretty regularly to my dismay for the first half of the game, by the second half it had completely fallen off and I almost never saw it proc, except against enemies that are expressly weak to Frost, like Melania, where it actually procced multiple times, which was nice. It was nice because I was actually using a lot of paired attacks, even if they were a bit committal. Obviously, you want to use the paired attacks because they do higher damage. If you start charging an attack, then she can read that input immediately. So if you want to use an attack that actually has higher hit stun, well, maybe not higher hit stun, but the back-to-back hit stun and the relatively low recovery after making contact with that hit makes it easier to pin her down and escape. Because again, you have horrendous range, so even trying to joust her, by the time you close in close enough to make contact, she's already reacted to you, and all of your attacks, because they are weirdly slow in the startup, are now too slow and or too light in hit stun to actually knock her out of whatever she's doing, which is not fun. But by having a good understanding of her kit, of when she is prone, stuck in recovery frames, you can whip out a running L1, which again, crazy motion value with all the multiple hits, so you really chunk her down, reducing the amount of time that you could use, say, Waterfowl, which is nice. But against Radahn 1, since I was really only one-handing, I just had to figure out when I should use heavy attacks, when I should use a heavy attack in an R1, when I should just use an R1. I was surprised that the R1 is fast enough to buffer a lot of combos, except when it fucking didn't, and I get deep into an attempt, try to buffer like I do a million times every fight, and then just that time it doesn't work, which is very fun. Or when my rolls weren't coming out, that was also very fun. I'm going to chalk up a lot of my struggles against Radahn 2 to bad luck, bad positioning, all that jazz. Though some of it I was learning a little bit. The jump strat that I've started to integrate for his meteor attack, knowing that once you hear the sound effect of him launching the stones, slashing his swords in the air, that's when you gotta go hard left or right on the stick and jump. I think you should still try to go a little bit diagonal, because if you do change direction too soon, then you're not going to outpace the clones, and then you can't run from the clones even if you keep your momentum. But trying to get the correct DI in the midst of battle is not always easy, not to mention you don't always have the most runway, so sometimes it is better to start running horizontally, at least the best way you can horizontally while locked on, because it's going to tether around your lock on point. A lot of times that's just going to screw you up to dodge the clones after, but you can sort of roll them. Sort of. I don't know. There's still some workshopping to do there, but I understand why it works better, I guess. So I can maybe figure out better ways to implement it. Beyond that, however, pairing a lot for Radahn 2, I also used it a lot for Radigan. I don't know what it was today, but his timings really made a lot of sense, and I was getting a lot of riposte. 3 in the winning attempt. I actually had a semi-good Radigan and then a semi-bad Elden Beast for once. But that's just because, as was the case in Dark Souls 3, and why I leveled Endurance in this run, the paired curved swords, like any middleweight, use up a lot of stamina very quickly, and when you're in the midst of battle, constantly rolling about, it is easy to run out of stamina. It was actually kind of surprising that, since I still kept the fast rolling for Radahn 2, so I had a decent chunk. I had like, what, 37 endurance? Having all that stamina, even when spamming out heavies in every opening, I had really no issue managing stamina, and that was really not ever the reason I was dying or getting caught in bad situations. It's just the fight being weird and jank because of the terrain, which is a little frustrating when you don't have the wiggle room to sort of combat that. Other than that, I guess other advancements are learning, or really mastering, my sleep strategies against the Godskins, knowing to swap targets. It is actually a lot more fun going between the two movesets instead of just fighting Fatty, and by just fighting Fatty, I mean just parrying Fatty. It's a lot more varied, and it takes slightly different approach to sleep either god skins. So again, that's just even more interesting gameplay to work in there. I think I was also having a somewhat easier time understanding Morgoth's parry openings. Honestly, that unlike previous Origin runs, this playthrough was not done in largely one sitting, but rather smaller sessions. So I don't remember the early bits of the run as clearly. All I remember is that the warrior performed pretty well. Its general performance was very strong, almost indistinguishable from a regular ass build, honestly. It is the most complete build, I feel, that they really hand you at the start. Maybe the Vagabond will be different, I don't know. But the fact that, I mean, you can use status on your offhand, do more complex status builds so that they don't fall off by the end of an encounter as the resistance builds up. The fact that you have pairing, the fact that you have defense that is pretty decent, all things considered. It's fairly well rounded and gives you a level of power that the other Origins wish they had at base. Though it must be said that while the skill floor for the warrior Origin is pretty damn low, making it very accessible and very comfortable, the skill ceiling is higher than you'd think, in the sense that it's difficult to reach. It is not quite as intuitive to figure out how to most optimally use the moveset, which can be troublesome when your weaknesses start to show themselves in the late game, when your stats start falling off in the late game, and you have less room for error. Make for a lot of frustrating encounters. But again, when I say the late game, I am almost exclusively referring to Leda and Radahn too. I honestly don't think any other encounter would really constitute as truly difficult. I mean, even fucking Gideon. Gideon got fucking erased. I don't think he even got a chance to heal. I fucking eviscerated him with the running L1. So yeah, definitely S tier for the warrior. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. Oh, right. That doesn't actually clear off, does it? Well, that was a mistake. Have, like, fast enough. Okay, dude. Have fast enough recovery to be able to follow up. Uh-huh. Okay, somehow that tanked through. Whoa, too late. Interesting. How the hell did I buffer that? I guess that's the nice thing about curved swords is fast recovery. Yeah. That seems to be the case, unless that's just sort of comboing into itself. Fuck it, it's just 2800. Which one's in my left and which one's in the right? I guess this one. Oh god. I am out of souls. Well, did I get it right? Damn it! We're really just gonna keep spamming this out, aren't we? That worked. Again, there's not a lot of recovery, but boy, is there startup on these things. Okay, well, I can at least get stance breaks. So it's not that light of a weapon. I think this has a feint. Oh, but... Or no, it's... Yeah. It still hit me. Beautiful. Alright, can we lock on? No, apparently not. Yes. Wow, that did no damage. Alright, cool. Well, lots of backstabs. Nice. Lots of backstabs. I always think I can get away with it. I can't. Can't get away with that either. Oh, what? That's a move? Okay, well, that's not great. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to break that DS3 muscle memory. Nice. I can't fucking break that muscle memory. Jesus. Why would they remove that as a mechanic? Oh my god. You can't combo R1 from L1. Literally every other game that has an L1 you can do that. Okay, I don't know about DS2, but every modern FromSoft game you can do that. Why the fuck do you remove it from this one? It's the best part of the mechanic. Sweet. They're weaker to front stabs. Ah. Two daggers back to back. Okay. Okay, there we go. Fuck. Frost. Rapace. Yay. Yay. That should do it. Fuck! Yay. I got that one. Anyway. This is the first time I've ever done this, I swear. What? I like having HP. Yay. Yay. Uh-oh. Wow. I guess because I'm attacking quickly, I can get him back to back. Nice. Okay, not so nice. Oh, it went off. The projectile went off the bridge. Okay. Man, it's nice having almost maxed out HP. It really does just make a massive impact on the strength of the player. Oh, I actually got the backstab. Cool. Now I got my front stab. Thought he was gonna follow up. What? Thought he was throwing an orb. I see. Alright. Will that do it? Yes. Okay, since I was kind of skewing, strafing to the side, I actually managed to get it like right as that hitbox appeared. Uh-oh. Uh-huh. Well, I was kind of helping the pillar there. Nice. Managed to get hit by all of that. Can't see. Can I heal? Oh. Jiggy Frostbite. Shit! Wow. Okay, it wasn't just in time. Oh my god. Back-to-back livers. That puts me at like, what, 8? Oh my god! Triple liver! What the fuck? Okay, that was no drop. Oh, wow, I'm surprised I recovered in time. Wasn't close enough. Uh-huh. I see, like, that's just slightly too fast. I cannot wrap my head around the frame data. Wow, I staggered him. Well, I guess that's why I do heavies. And that. Just... That's how you do it. Sure. Yeah, I know. Crowd's a little too fresh. Okay, so if the crab attacks him, he doesn't actually become quite actionable enough to, I killed the small crab. If he's not aggroed, he can't actually be death blighted, but I can just have him killed normally, I guess. Killed through normal death. Oh, but it can still be grabbed. That's funny. Fun. That'll work. Did. Great start. Okay. Dude! How the hell did I dodge that? Probably by pressing the dodge button. Okay, how did I dodge that? That was complete incorrect timing. Gonna react. Dude, I thought I was far enough behind him. Beautiful. Yeah, if I don't get a frost proc here, I'm... Well, I was gonna die, but I got the frost proc there. Nice. Fuck. I love his arena. I totally deserved that. That would have been a great kill. Oh. That's what I get for trying to be fancy. I want to kill him with a feint. Okay. That works. Just... Faint. Oh, well, if I was able to be stylish, and I guess I have a handle on the fight. Is it not actually registering the frost infusion I have on the other one? Because I'm not getting any buildup. Oh, that's DS3 poise knowledge. Right. And then DS3 knowledge fucking me over because I'm not continuing that with the heavy attack. The running attack is also very good. Hits high. You have no poise, idiot. I reiterate, you have no poise. Haha! That's an actual use of the feint. I don't believe it. I genuinely don't believe it. Okay, can I do it again? Yes. Yeah, the mimic actually taught me something. It's that the running attack is very good. Okay. Fucks up Eleonora too. Nice. Thought I was gonna charge it for longer, honestly. There we go. I just want a one for the road. Does this even hurt? No. I always thought that hurt. Got them Bloodborne AoEs. Nice. Oh, that just would have been a one-shot on a lower level player. Faint. Oh. Yeah, see, that's why I want more stamina. Perfect. Oh, you're joking. Alright. I keep underestimating his partisan. Maybe I should have fainted. Didn't have range. Okay. Does that not have a hitbox, or it's probably just too low in the ground? Oh, I thought he'd follow up. Oh, of course he did his fastest jab, too. Oh, nice. Shame I don't have lightning on right now. Can I put it back on? Yes. Ah, I should even... No, I can't combo into R1 there. That would be too fun. There we go. Alright. Oh, okay. That might have been a parry if it actually hit. Nice. Probably only worked because it was right next to him. Damn. 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 That's fine. Haha! Backflip. Actually, I was able to get actionable from that pretty quick. There we go. Ah, that still hit me. That was the complete wrong DI. Ugh. Fuck. Shit, I'm stuck. Ugh, damn. All right. Nice. Oh, unfortunately, that won't kill. but maybe. Yep. Nice. I'm just using it for style, but it's fine. I mean, I can still get it on the tree. You just have to attack a lot, which I don't think a lot of bosses are going to facilitate. Come on. Whoa! Floating. Oh, maybe it's because that's the sewer drain into subterranean shunning grounds in Ashen Capital. That fucked with it. That's my only guess, though. Yeah, you can see all the way down there. Okay. Wow. He is weak to slash. Dude. Uh-oh. Feels like it's easier to hit the weak spot. Oh wow, did that really... Hold on. No, not really. For a second I thought it like had perfectly lined up to... Shit. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Are you fucking kidding me? Get up. There we go. Dude, I couldn't see what the fuck he was doing. Well, I mean, it's certainly possible to do this. It's not exactly fun, though. Dude. Okay. Fuck. Now watch it not. Okay, now. Dude. Nice. Oh, he's right next to me. Okay. Perfect. Nice! It's been total luck that I've been getting that, but... Oh wait, shit. Neat. I killed him on the ground, but them actually, it not being a riposte. That was a kind of unique death animation. Uh-huh. Well, that was lucky. That was slick. Very slick. Okay. That was less slick. Oh, I got frostbite when I tried to parry him. Okay. Well, getting very careless. Buffer to parry? Sure. Yeah, I don't know, the motion value seems fine on it. I have to look back at the footage to see what the actual damage numbers are. Uh-huh. Takes care of one. I don't know why I bothered. Dude. He's so good at dodging the feint, he expects it. Okay. Just jump onto the high ground and then by happenstance connect the attack. Ah, shit. Neat. Dude, I'm going for it. Oh, it's gonna kill me though. Okay. Yes, got the frost. Oh, but I'm about to get hit again. Shit. That was not a good idea. It was a fine idea. Alright. That's a sweep. Alright, we're gonna kind of kill him with the feint, if at all possible. Yes. Fuck. Use the foot for once, Jesus. Okay. He actually doesn't have as much stance as I thought. Okay. There we go. It's upending my worldview. There's an extra one I've been missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, and 9. I guess it is 9. Oh well. We're fine. Okay. That works. Well, I mean, scat level's way too high for him, but that worked. Yeah, he has the same build as I do, more or less.
The nature of your company, I was certain. War with sword. Give it time.
Haha, faint.
None of my business. Sell it.
Thank you, Lutta. That probably would have killed me.
So, your mongrel won't show us through at last.
Oh, did I get the final hit on that? Or did I just hit his corpse and that lit it ablaze? Okay. I like that a lot. Yay. Haha! Slick. Slick. Alright, so far so good. Oh, I got fucking hit by the grab. Well. It worked. That's fine. That is honestly the easiest time I've ever had for them. I never realized they were so easy to parry. Stamina somehow. Yeah. Not a hard fight. Okay. Weird. Oh my god, I actually froze her. I don't believe it. Of course, then I immediately get rid of the frost. Whoa. I fumbled the fucking control. Great. Alright. Come on. Yay. Or I guess I didn't have enough there. I can't see. Yay. Fancy. Okay. Woman, you're pissing me off. That's what I was afraid about multi-hits, that she'd just interrupt them. That was nice. Oh! Oh shit. Fuck. Fuck! I hate it when she does that. Why am I trying to get too fancy? I wanted to kill her with a feint, but I couldn't really think of a time to charge. I love this fucking game. Malekith is so much easier than Garank.
To stand before the Elden Ring, to become what a sad state of affairs. But alas, one is on the throne, which might let our helps for us. Continue to struggle unto eternity.
Okay. Eat shit. Actually, this doesn't even work. Wow, that running attack is really good for Gideon. Because the actual active frames start up very early, so as soon as you get up next to him, it just interrupts all of his casting. Well, except for Black Flame Ritual, apparently, but that doesn't make much of a difference. Okay. I knew that was gonna happen. Okay. Oh, the sound effect, I got a, I can't speak. Okay. Wow. Alright. Okay. Oh wow, I hit him in the air because of how they... Fuck. Because this hitbox doesn't actually move off the ground. Interesting. Yeah, I should have just been using the other one normally. Why have all my dodges just been late today? I don't know why, but it's actually feeling kind of intuitive today. Haha! 3 riposts. I'm learning. Well, this might still kill me because I ran out of stamina, which is fucking cool. Well, Elden Beast, that was probably the worst Elden Beast I've had in a long time, because I kept burning all my stamina, but Ratigan went well, kind of. 3 parries, or 3 ripostes, I should say. So much easier with fast rolling. Look at that. Just needed fast rolling and a bit of parrying. I like it when he does that. Get fucked! Jesus. I got the feint. I don't know if I had a strategy there, honestly.